Alrighty, so here we go. I don't know if you lost me on part 2, so I'm going to say this is part 2A. So if part 2A or part 2 continued, let's call it part 3. So part 3 of this Toyota Corolla rear trunk, rear bumper paint job here. I'm gonna start off with about 500 grit. I'm gonna say 500, and we will go from there. Let me get everything set up proper like on the old stand. You see, I have to do everything manually. The director, the producer, I have to do it all. So this area I'm going to start right there. Okay, I'm going to try to do some tight filming. What I call tight is focus on just areas that maybe you might be able to see better. Who knows? So I'm going to start with 220. I'm going to do a little bit of wet sanding now. Have at it. So yeah, I know I said 500, but well, 500 is up top, 220 is right here. 220 on a rubber sanding block, and we'll see what we can do. I just want to get a lot of this old junk off. Sometimes I start in the ones, meaning 180. But I know why this was put on here anyway, because what the primer was showing. Now that I recollect, it's been so long. So that's the reason why. Yeah, the primer was showing. But I got plenty of paper. Sandpaper. Alright. So I do a variety of motions. I do circles. I do X marks. X hashes there. Back and forth. Generally don't go straight up and down, but if I have to, I will. I don't put too much weight into the actual paper itself. I let the block do it, and everything seems to come out just fine. It's funny how, oops, well, I'm gonna have to retape that obviously. Water and paper don't work, so when I get the spraying, I'll be doing some retaping. Oh well. Just trying to get ahead of myself. Alright. Still a little rough. Might have to go into the ones. I have a little bit of soapy water in there. This helps with the process. I've been finding that I've been really enjoying doing this sanding and body work. It's kind of relaxing in a way. Your brain gets into a rhythm of just letting your body work, and you're just going through repetitive motions. Yeah, you got to think about it. It's not like you're on autopilot or something. But really get into the aspect of like, wow, Your mind kind of wanders away a little bit. You're paying attention, but you're not. Yep, I remember now. There it is. The reason why I did initially do all this taping was I wanted to try to stay off the lenses as much as possible. A lot of times too, sometimes when I'm sanding, I'll stay in one spot and get one area complete and then move on to the next, versus doing a big, large area. When I'm starting out like this, yeah, you could, one school of thought for myself is, well, I could just do the whole big, wide area, and then when it comes to like final sanding, concentrate in a quadrant and break it up, the panel into, like, say 4s, like 1, 2, 3, and then 4, so you make sure you get all the areas. But there you go. Because I don't want to lose my Toyota there, I will be taping that up. And good old Mark Jacobson, which was the dealership I bought this from. He might just be going away. I could probably remove you, but I'll probably just prime right over you. Alright, so it's pretty good. A little rough, a little bit there. Probably have to get into the ones. Yeah, you can see that delaminating. But that is just primer right there underneath. Let's see. So yeah, I'm going to be ended up ripping this all off. I can see that right now. All this loose stuff. No problem. Sometimes you forget when you do a quick repair of some sort. You have to go back, and when you get into the work itself, then you remind yourself why you did something in the beginning way. So yeah. Yep, that's what you want. Because if you feel it in your hand, you're going to feel it in the paint, and you'll see it in the paint on your final outcome. So that's why you want to strip it down. In this case. And that's why I'm going aggressive now. Because I don't want to see that in the final product. This is fine. I'm not going to extend beyond there, but I will be getting all this off here and primering through. I couldn't tell you exactly why this particular area got affected. In theory, it might have been the car used to live underneath a tree. And I would cover up the car whenever I could. I had a car cover, but who knows? Maybe sap got in there. And over time it just disintegrated the paint. Okay. Another thick story I could tell. I'm a storyteller, right? Maybe some bird poo got up in there and it started working on that paint, this area right here, right? Who knows, right? And it just spread like the sleeping menace. That bird poop. You never know, right? And all its evilness inside of it. That bird poop. Who knows? But that's the story I'm telling. Sometimes when you do the opposite action, like you go X here, and you go here, it breaks up the surface that you're working at. You know, it creates friction, so to speak, and shakes off what shouldn't be there in the first place. So that's a good reason why to do different patterns. And I'm, like I said, I'm primarily staying here. I don't feel I need to use any Bondo fill of that sort. So I'm not going to do that. But I will be about using a little lower grade of sandpaper. Spray this off here. Oh yeah. Yep, there you go. By me wetting the sandpaper, right, I'm de-chalking it, you could say, because otherwise you just got paint on smear working that, right? There's no need for all that. And that also, I could say, is a somewhat of advantage of wet sanding. Kind of saves the sandpaper a little bit longer. Yep, there's the original primer right there. All right, good old Mr. Jacobson. Thank you back in, I think, 2005. Yeah. 2005, I believe I bought this vehicle. 19 years of ownership. So, Mr. Jacobson, thank you for selling us this car. I know it was a one-car trade-in. And when we located it, they gave us a call because we told them how we wanted to get. We were looking for a pre-owned Toyota, and we told them the exact criteria, and Mr. Jacobson gave us a call. Probably not him exactly, but one of his workers called and says, hey, we have something here we might be interested in. It came from an elderly couple, from what I was told. Yeah, they are all over there, right? It had 26,000 miles on it. We put the money down and walked and drove away. Yep, 26,000 miles on it back then. New to me. Newest vehicle I ever owned. Well, lowest mileage vehicle I ever owned. I think right now, I might have just broken, I might be 317,000 something miles on it right now. 317,000. Wow. Phenomenal. I can count on one hand how many family members have traded in cars. Friends, family, trade in cars like they changed their underwear, it seems. But that's good. At least they got healthy cars. But I don't know if this is a knock on me not changing my underwear or not. By not trading in a car. I don't know. But anyway, I've kept this car going. I didn't see the need to do any trade-ins, or it's been a tool that's just worked just fine. Oh, I crack myself up sometimes. It's funny when you start working, right? I can remember saying, right? Oh yeah, I think I might just spray right over it. Then you change your mind. Mid-course action. Yeah, I can tell you now, going to a 180 grit would have been faster. So I advise you guys going to 180, even though I'm not doing it. I had this still on. But 180 would be faster. Perhaps when I get a cramps in my leg or something to that sort, then I'll change out this pad. Change out this grit, I mean. Pretty prime there tape job, huh? Funny. Yeah, it takes time doing this work. It takes time. So if you don't got time, or you don't want to put in the time, I should say, should count the cost. Count the cost and be willing to pay the price. And that's how I always start any project. I will count the cost. Alright, if this is what it cost me, then that's the price I'm gonna have to pay. So what's my terms? Well, the terms might be time. Very well can be frustration. Internally, externally, mostly the frustration is from me. I want to get done quicker than I thought. Terms can be my significant. Wanting things back quicker than I thought. She thought I could be done more humanly, possibly faster. Well, she's probably right. Probably can. So those are terms. Other terms I'm dealing with. I say 5 hours and it takes 10. Oh well, I'm not getting paid to do it. But I do try to work within those terms though. So I am getting a little bit better with my time. Sometimes within those terms, thank God it's not a contract. You gotta adapt. Well, conditions. So if you got price and terms, conditions, and cost, right? The conditions, what are you working under? Well, I'm doing open air painting, open air sanding. Today is about 80 something degrees right now, and I'm going to be dealing with the sun beaming down on me in probably a half an hour in this current position. Skeeters, well, thankfully it's daytime and not night. But I do got a pretty little retention pond to my right. So anyway, you got environmental conditions when you're out here sanding and painting and doing all this stuff outside. Thankfully, I have a great degree of privacy. My privacy is good privacy. I don't have to deal with people for the most part. I get a couple curious folks wanting to know what I'm doing, but I'll show them. As long as they don't want to touch my tools. Most people are kind. They're just curious too. And heck, I can promote my channel, Ablecraft. Right? And sure enough, some of them have actually grabbed my number and I've gotten some work out of it. So it always pays to be professionally nice with people. So, but again, conditions, right? I'm outside, I'm working outside. Temperamental weather. It could rain and seem like hurricane any moment. It seems every time I look out, listen to the forecast. The weather. Yeah. Jiminy crickets. So, gotta have a certain mental mindset to doing working outdoors. Dealing with the weather. But I've been working outdoors most of my life anyway. Sort of like that dog that Granddaddy wouldn't let in the house. He was always an outside dog. You know what I'm saying? You had one of those granddaddies. Good dog, right? But that dog was not allowed to come in the house. I was kind of like me. Can't come in the house. Gotta work outside. But I think I'm loyal. And I'm true. Definitely faithful to my work, that is. Yeah. Now I'm faithful to the people and the commitments I make. People I love. But I'm committed to getting the sprayer working right now. Alright, no problem. Switch. Pour some water on it. But this video is taking me a little bit of time. I might go ahead and put a pause on it. Come back in with part 3. So if you've been still with me, good for you. I always tell myself, man, this video's taking so long when I watch it. Well, I said, well, I can always fast forward. Funny when you watch your own videos, you'd be laughing. Man, did you say that, really? Did you really say that? I guess you did. Can't edit it now. Well, couldn't edit if I wanted to. I don't have editing. I cracked myself up. But I do enjoy making these videos for as long as I'm permitted to do so. Like I say, I do make them for you guys, if you're interested in watching them. It's kind of like watching paint dry. But I make them for myself, so later on